right, well, thanks everybody for joining. Got our Thanksgiving week edition here. Lacey, if you want to go ahead and get the music going. We've been kind of complaining about our war stories here, going to the hospital and the woes and stuff that we've had. It just seems like it's always something, but we'll get through it together, right? All right, let's just start swinging those arms. See Matt Fritzy's in the room here. He's in Kansas City. I wonder if he went to the game last night. Maybe fortunately, it was kind of a cold, rainy night, it looked like. For sure. All right, just getting loosened up here. Swing these arms. Call this like walking, like a arm swing for walking. Try to keep your posture upright. Eyes in front of you. Is everybody ready for Thanksgiving? I know Thanksgiving has traditionally just been one of my favorite holidays. You know, it's like all the good stuff for Christmas without all the money required. All right, let's shake that out. Let's go into some light punches. We're doing our Thanksgiving with Hannah's parents, which is here. You know, they live about 30, 40 minutes away. And her mom always does everything when we all get together. So, you know, Hannah and I made the suggestion that let's try to divvy up everything. Let's try to split up the responsibilities for the Thanksgiving meal. And, you know, it sounded good to us, you know, like we were going to make things easier on her mom. But to get her mom to relinquish control of all of these aspects of the dinner, I think we might as well just let her mom do everything. All right, let's shake that out. Let's bring our right arm across the front. Hannah had some dishes that she was really looking forward to, and she's like, "Mom, you know, can I make the green bean casserole?" And she wanted to make the sweet potato casserole. And her mom's like, "Well, why don't you make a small one and I'll make a small one?" So it's fun. They're like really cute problems to have, but it's pretty funny. All right, let's bring this right arm up over the top if you can. All right. All right, I'll show you switching here. So I take my arm back behind my head with my left arm here, and then I'll get my other one, and I don't have the strength to get my arm there without kind of flopping it around, so that's why it's hard for me to show. But then I pull. This is something my OT has me do, to really open up my shoulders, stretch those out before we get going. So if you guys can do this in a way that's safe, try it out. If not, stretch out in a way that does work for you. All right, and then we're gonna slowly reach down to our toes. Really let that lower back relax. You know, I really think about my gut deflating, you know, as I kind of press against it and let the air out of my lungs. And I'm really stretching down, stretching my shoulders. All right, then when we come up, we want to come up slow because I get lightheaded real easy. And if I pop up too fast here, all right. And I have lost you guys on the screen here. There we go. All right. All right, come back up. Sorry guys, my screen keeps flopping off here. All right. Reaching down to the right, and then up to the left. So I got to go to the University of Kansas football game, and you know, I got last minute accessible tickets, you know, so I was excited about that. And my dad has been going to Kansas football, you know, my entire life. So let's switch, and they're just recently having success. So he has good seats in the end zone. And I was so impressed with how wheelchair accessible the end zone passes were. He's like, come meet me down here. He's like, it'll be fun. I'm like, yeah, Dad, you know, wheelchair accessibility. He's like, no, it's good. I checked. Come down there, and they have little ramps everywhere. It was perfect. You know, I was really surprised. Usually anytime there's one or two steps, they haven't really thought out the wheelchair accessibility, especially in, you know, the end zone or the VIP sections. Like I noticed that someplace that it's always lacking. And it was so fun to be able to sit in the end zone, shake that out, and watch the game. You know, so punching. It's so hard finding accessible tickets, and then when I get to an event, you know, I usually accept, and that's terrible that I do, but I just accept that I'm going to have some of the worst seats in the place. And so last weekend, to get to sit in the end zone for a football game, man, was that cool. All right, punching up. It's a good time as a sports fan. There's all sorts of basketball tournaments on right now. Tonight, if I can stay up, my Kansas basketball team's ranked number 1, and they play the number 4 ranked team from Marquette in the Maui Invitational. So, you know, it's not that the rankings mean that much this early, but to see a 1 versus 4, at least we're getting some good competition. All right, starting with the left, we're gonna do some arm raises, trying to keep it right in the middle. Going straight up and down. Getting a lot out of my core with this, you know, trying to stabilize things. I'm trying to decrease the support on my hand back here. I'm just using it as a counterbalance. I'm not supporting with it. All right, switch. Now I am cheating a little bit here with my left. Need to come off of that. Yeah, this one's a lot more difficult for me. I don't know whether to be frustrated with my right or grateful for my left. All right, I'm going to work my core back and forth here. You know, whatever range is appropriate for you. I have to start slow because my spasms kind of ramp up at first till I get used to the movement. But getting a little trunk extension and then a crunch. And hoping that this gets a little more fluid as I work with it. But man, my body is tight today. And then I road tripped, you know, because I'm well, I'm just not that smart. You know, it was not the smart decision, but the psychology behind it is I get so pent up being in the hospital, and then I thought I was being proactive when I went in, and they caused more damage in me to be in there longer, and I was so pent up being in the hospital that when I got an opportunity to take a little trip and get the hell out of town, I couldn't say no. I needed to stay home and rest. That's what I needed to do, but my soul needed to escape. And that's something that I gotta, I have to deal with, because sometimes I just do what my heart wants and not what my head knows. And that's maturity. I need to be better about that. Yeah, you're not the first person to call me Peter Pan, and that's not something I should be proud of. All right, let's go back to some punches. I totally agree. There are some things that there's growth that I want to make in my life, but I don't think growing up is necessarily what I want to do. All right. Let's work that core to the right, picking up something up off the ground on the right side. And maybe you're just leaning a little bit. Maybe it's just a head nod. Maybe you can incorporate picking something up each time. Maybe that's feasible for you. Lengthening that arm, bringing it back. Keep working it to that one side. All right, let's switch. Go to the left. Seeing how your breath affects it, making sure you are breathing. That's something that I always struggle with. I'm always holding my breath for exercises. My therapists are always telling me to breathe, and I always say, I'll breathe eventually. All right, making sure we're in a good position still. And chicken wing. And again, it's hard for me to stretch this end range here, so I'm trying to reach as high as I can. That's where it's challenging. When I start reaching at the top, it gets tough to maintain my balance. So that's where the challenge is for me. I love this song. I have so many memories of music with my dad, and this is one of those songs where, he was telling me just how he really relates to this song. Like, he just wake up and like, how did I get here? And when I was a kid, I used to think he was so crazy, but now I think back and I'm like, how did I get here? What is going on here? Yeah. I don't know, maybe he was crazy and now I'm crazy too, or maybe he had it right to begin with. Oh, I'm spazzing out here a little bit. All right. Yeah, I got tight. Yeah, I'm fatigued too. All right, let's go back to working that chest down to your knees and then back up. Hinging at the hips if you can. I have a tendency to round all through my back, and I gotta try to keep my back straight while I'm hinging lower. Now let's add our arms in. Let's reach down to our toes. Reaching down, and then coming back up. And then we're going to add reaching up. Keep pushing it. All right, keep working that trunk. Take your arms out of it. Keep working that trunk. Now we're going to work our trunk in 4 directions. So left, forward, right, just kind of around the world here. Making your circle as big as you can, but as small as it needs to be. We're using our head and our arms as balance and counterweight, and doing this however we can, just trying to rock that core 360. I know I can work it a lot. My front to back has a lot more range than my side to side. So I got kind of an oblong circle here, but it's whatever works for us. All right, let's shake that out. Get a drink of water real quick. We're going to try to work our triceps here. So we're going to working them out. Now, if you're strong enough to work up against gravity, you can do that. This exercise, I'm going to try to maintain my core. I'm pulling my back away from my wheelchair back. So I'm having to do a little bit more of the work and working on extending those triceps. Just really focusing on the movement. All right, punching up. All right, back to this one. Let's work these up. Flapping those wings, trying to get those elbows up high, stretching. Back down. Oh, and I'm spazzing out pretty good here. Oh. Man. Whew. Man, sometimes it just locks me up. All right, let's go here to the W and let's set those shoulder blades. Kind of retracting my head when I do it too. You know, moving your head back, setting your shoulder blades, pulling everything down and into your back pocket. Pulling that into our body. All right, working right to left. Yeah. You got it. I went through and I picked out of all the playlists that we've had so far, this is my greatest hits of everything we've listened to. In my opinion. All right. Left arm, working that midline. I hope you like the next one. Switch arms. All right, some light punches. Anybody have any favorite Thanksgiving traditions or anything they're especially looking forward to? It's not any one thing from the meal. It's like the meal all together, and the main points of the meal are the turkey, gravy, potatoes, stuffing, green bean casserole, a roll with some butter, and some pumpkin pie when it's all over. Deviled eggs. I gotta have deviled eggs too. I'm always the one that's hawking the kitchen, seeing what I can nibble on. Especially, I love it when they start plating everything to try to make it look pretty. I'm like, oh, that won't fit. You need me to eat that. Right. Right. Yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh. Yeah, but I mean, what a special thing for you to have, where you have like-minded people that you can get with and share your thoughts and have a meal together. Like that's such a blessing. Switch. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, let's work that core front to back. That's what I was talking about before we got started here. But Hannah's mom invited us to her Thanksgiving, or I guess our Thanksgiving, and I had the idea of like let's divvy up all the responsibilities. I hate how it's always so much work for your mother, and we can all chip in, and this can be much easier. And she does not want to relinquish control. I should have ran it by her first. I don't think that's her idea of an enjoyable Thanksgiving. Uh, I had good intentions. Uh-huh. All right. Let's go back to some punches. Yeah, and I think that's okay. Like, we shouldn't have to feel guilty about enjoying what we contribute. Right. That's something that I have really noticed, that my entire life, every holiday like this is just a brunt of work on typically one or two women. And I like, why? We can go out to eat, we can share the responsibility, we can cook for once. Like, there's a million different ways we can still get together and it not just be one person's job. I don't like that. But maybe she likes it and I need to lay off. I know, I'm sad. Yeah, no good deed goes unpunished. But for the record, my heart was in the right place. All right, let's set those shoulder blades. Okay. But sometimes I do fall over. That is good. Oh my goodness. Let's get a drink of water. Well, obviously you made it out. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness. Going with some straight arm raises. Sometimes when I look back all over everything, it's like, I'm very lucky that I'm still here. The spinal cord injury is, very minor compared to what I probably should be dealing with. Absolutely. And and not that it's always easy, but I think that's very true. No matter, you embrace your circumstances, no matter what they are, and you always got to be able to laugh in the middle of the storm, and not that you lose your mind and you don't refocus and get back to the job at hand, but yeah, take that minute and laugh or cry or feel, That's more and more what I think about, because I am in my head a lot, and I really am curious, like, what is the point of life sometimes? And it's like, I think we're here to learn, and I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to learn, but I'm trying to figure it out. All right, punching up. Yeah, faith is something that I don't have all the answers to, but it's something that, I don't know, it's like a beacon that's calling to me recently, and I don't know. Just trying to be open to experiences and open to learning and just accepting that I don't know anything, let alone everything, and just trying to have an open mind and an open heart. All right, working that core front to back. You know, in my head, it's always been this like debate of religion versus science, and I've always thought that, you know, you have to be logical and choose science, and it seems like the more that I understand, and not that I understand much, but the more I understand about science, it doesn't make any sense. There's got to be something else. Like, I feel like the more you understand how things work, or at the level that we know that they work, it's amazing. Astrophysics and how everything, it's the miracle of life. Like, you can try to explain it with science, but that does not negate the miracle that everything is. And I can't make sense of everything. I don't want to poo-poo on what anybody believes, but I do think there's something to that like religion is man's way of ruining faith, you know, and there's just some things that don't jive with what my soul can accept. But I truly believe that there's something more, and whatever that is, I don't have the capability to define. But I think it's beautiful, and I think it's powerful, whatever it is. All right, back to raises. Right. Uh-huh. That wasn't intentional, but I'll take it. You know, because really, like, I don't know how you guys feel about your injuries and stuff like that, but I really, and not that I'm so special that there has to be a reason why I'm in my chair, but I feel like there's lessons to be learned, and an opportunity to learn something different. And I don't know if it was intentional that I ended up like this, but I think I have to take advantage of the lessons that I'm going to get to learn. Switch. And I didn't intend on this being such a philosophical discussion. You know, it's just to be honest, the holidays are really tough for me. My mom loved Christmas, and, you know, the holidays just suck without her. And I think about these things a lot, you know? So, just where is she? I don't know. Let's go with some punches. And that's another thing that I find, like, but if people do go somewhere else and they can talk to us, why do they talk to some people and not others? And why can some of us receive that and others can't? You know, because I don't want to assume that everybody that thinks they can talk to a dead person is crazy, but nobody's talking to me. And I don't know if it's just because I'm not open to it or what, but I don't know. Right? I don't know. It's got in my head a little bit. My sisters see, like, Reiki work people, and they talk to people that claim they can talk to my mom. So you know, it's whatever anybody believes in, but I don't believe in that, and I think they're profiting off of my sister's emotions, and yeah. All right, let's work that across. But then again, if they find peace in it, I guess whatever works for them. Mm-hmm. Switch. You know, whatever you believe in, I think we can all agree that it can be good to be positive, to smile, try to treat other people like you want to be treated. You know, just, you know, it's kind of, yeah. All right. Setting those shoulder blades back. Do we got another song coming, or are we done? Lacey, is the music over? I think we're done with the music. So, thanks for joining, everybody. Sorry I was sick last week.